Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today we are looking at the blaster bug from Starship Troopers. Starting off here on the wiki page, so we can get a lot of the background information that we don't have on our D6 holocron. The blaster bugs are an infiltration specialist of an arachnid force, largely due to their small size, which allows them to maneuver through tight spaces and avoid detection. These bugs are known for their ability to spring attacks, surprise attacks, that is, catching their enemies off guard. Their erratic, hopping movements make them difficult to target, adding to their effectiveness in infiltration roles. However, blaster bugs have their weaknesses. They are relatively frail, making them susceptible to attacks when caught out in the open. Additionally, their offensive capabilities are fairly insubstantial, unless they are part of a pack. Individually, they do not pack a significant punch. Blaster bugs are equipped with a medium range plasma attack, which they use to engage targets from a distance. These plasma attacks can be quite effective in groups, overwhelming opponents with multiple simultaneous strikes. To combat blaster bugs, the TAC shotgun is highly recommended. Roughnecks, Starship Trooper Chronicles, brings us their little addition to it. So the blaster bugs are a type of arachnids which are slightly larger than the warrior bugs and similar in shape and color to their closely related species, the blister bugs. With the anterior section of both species ending in a huge gaping maw, the blaster bug absorbs heat from the surrounding environment to ignite an exothermic biochemical reaction in their thorax, resulting in a flamethrower capability, burning through power suits or melting sand into a glass like substance. A swarm of blaster bugs firing off in synchronized bursts can create a massive wall of fire burning at a temperature exceeding 1000 degrees Celsius, incinerating targets at 1,000 meters distance. The abdomen of the bugs is glowing when there is a reaction in the prothorax prior to firing. Blaster bug swarms also generate enough residual heat collectively to form a dome shaped heat sphere capable of destroying incoming weapons fire and missiles. Uh, but underneath their abdomens are a significant drop in temperature, with their ventral sections vulnerable to detonation charges. The is a four legged bug. The rearmost pair of legs are longer than the two front forelegs. The blaster's body is light brown with a shade of green. The bug has an orange colored eyes with black pupils. It has three tan colored crosswise stripes on the top of the body, and legs are also tan with a shade of green and brown. The upper mandible of the three fangs, the lower mandible has two bigger fangs. Like the warrior, the blaster bug has two small claws. Unlike its cousin, the blister bug, blaster bugs generally attack in mass swarms for maximum effect, whereas blister bugs attack individually or in small swarms supported by the warrior bugs. All right, the specs here. So we have a length of about 14 feet or 4.25 meters, a height of 9.5 feet or 2.9 meters. Tactical countermeasures: the blaster bug's flamethrower capability has devastating effects, but due to their relatively low rate of fire of about 2 shots per minute, blasters are vulnerable during their long reloading phase, limiting their effectiveness. Blasters let out a short scream before they are firing, launch a counterattack immediately after their flamethrower burst is finished. Blaster bugs are firing exactly at 32-second intervals. Detonating charges should aim at their vulnerable ventral section of the bug. History-wise, the blaster bugs were first encountered by the Roughnecks during the uh, Tophet campaign. Variants, some blasters are, or on Tophet, are much larger than the usual blazer size. These giant blasters are nearly the size of a tanker bug and have a black body with a shade of red, and abdomen is red. The legs are black and have a shade of tan. One such giant blaster was blown by Chaz during the Tophet campaign. So, having some pictures of our wonderful bug here. And yeah, this is from the animated series. Let's see. And here we go again. The animated series brought in a little bit more depth to everything else. And they also brought us some of the mecha. And I know that I kind of covered a little bit of this in the past. I think we still get a little bit more from animated series than what we get in live action, only because you can freely just draw the stuff, um, and you can get a little bit closer to what everyone is really imagining in comparison to trying to figure out how to physically create it. Now, the fact that we have so much CGI in movies today, we are getting closer to what we can do in animation because the CGI allows us to do that. And the way that they're starting to film things where you're really just standing there by yourself doing imaginative play with whatever's supposed to be around you does make it a lot more interesting for the actors. So, all right. Well, with that being said, let's get into our D6 stats and go from there. Okay, so looking here at our blaster bug. Okay, so we're going to have start off with a dexterity of 3D plus 1. Um, with our dodge skill and running skill underneath that being a 5D plus 1. We have a perception of 1D plus 1, with our hide skill being a 3D plus 1, our search skill being a 3D, and our sneak skill being a 3D plus 1. And then last of all, we have a strength skill of 3D plus 2, or attribute of 3D plus 2, and our climb and jumping skill is a 7D. Orderness is a 2D. We have a move of 17, so this is a fairly fast bug. Size is, again, being 4.25 meters long and 2.9 meters tall. Now, we do have the claws on here, which gives it a attack of a strength, which is going to be 3D plus 2 plus the 1D plus 1, so that's going to be in all a 4D plus 3. We do have a natural armor, which is our strength, plus 1D plus 1, so still a 4D plus 3 to resist damage. Blind sight out to 20 meters, using non-visual senses such as sensitivity or vibrations, keen smell, accurate hearing, or echolocation. A creature with blind sight maneuvers and fights as effectively as a sighted creature. Darkness and most kinds of concealment are irrelevant, though the creature must have a line of sight, per se, to the creature or object to discern them. The creature usually does not need to make checks to notice creatures within that range, the range of the blind sight ability. Unless noted otherwise, blind sight is continuous, and the creature uh, needs nothing to use it. Stealth checks made to evade the creature with blind sight suffers a negative 1D plus 1 penalty. Then we have our fiery blast. The bugs are capable of generating a stream of fire 5 meters wide and 13 meters long. All creatures in that area must make a dodge difficulty 16 check or suffer a 5D plus 1 fire damage immediately for 1 to 4 rounds thereafter. Victims of the fiery blast that suffered its initial damage suffer an additional 2d+1 points of damage each round unless it takes a full round to smother the flames. So the description that we have from the D6 Holocron is the blaster bugs are almost a specialized form of blister bug and likely come from the same hive or other one very similar because its external appearance is quite similar. These terrifying bugs can spew streams of extremely volatile chemicals that ignite in contact with the air to create sweeping sheets of torrential flame. This chemical reaction renders the blister bugs, or blaster bugs, useless for fire support outside of their oxygen rich atmosphere. But the hive has other breed forms for such instances. The blaster bugs are extremely difficult to generate as eggs, and most brain bugs conserve their numbers whenever possible. All right. And, the other things that they have coming for sources is the Starship Troopers role playing game source book, as well as the wiki page, and so on. So, it's in going through this and kind of helping to spread some of the Starship Trooper D6 stuff here. Seeing that it was suggested, it's interesting. It's fun. More nasty bugs to try and have to fight off. However, you decide to play it, whether you keep it as just strictly a Starship Trooper or you port it into one of the other D6 franchises that we have here. So, with that being said, thank you so very much for joining me today. It's wonderful having you here. I hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.